Hi everyone, welcome to my first YouTube video on my channel Marquist Customs. My name is Max, and as you can see in front of me there's a very nice table. This table is a table I actually made myself a couple months back, and back then I took some videos about the process, and so the video that you will be watching today is about how this table was made. This project is directly inspired by another YouTuber called currieGOAT, so shout out to him. He made a whole video where he basically made a very similar table with the same process, and in this video I'm going to be following the steps that he followed. The design of this table is a design I made. It's based on a Fu Lion or Fu Dog, depending on who you ask. It's a common theme in Asia. You find them all around China or Japan. They're often depicted as statues in front of gates. You might have seen them. They're meant to guard an entryway. And so I hope you enjoy watching this video as much as I enjoyed making this table, and have a good watch. And here you see me using a white spray primer for the base of the table, and I think it took me about 2 cans. Here I'm measuring the dimensions of the wood plank to be able to figure out where to put the design. And that's actually what you see me doing here. I'm just fiddling with my designs, trying to figure out where to put it. So you saw me fiddling with 2 lions, but I ended up just using just one and placing it nice and big in the center of the table. And so here you see me tracing the design with the help of a projector. I'm just pretty much going over the lines with a pencil at first. And once I have the pencil lines drawn, I'm going over with a marker and just tracing all the lines again, making it nice and clean. That part is actually very satisfying because you start seeing the drawing come to life. So now that my line is traced, we're going to start painting the background. So I'm just grabbing my paint. And here I'm mixing yellow and red because the background of the table is going to be orange. So you apply the first coat of orange. This is pretty good paint, but you're still going to have to do multiple coats. Now I'm going to start painting the body of the lion, so I gotta grab my blue paint and some white because I want it light blue. So you kind of go with the flow with the mixing, mix it until the color looks right to you, and then start painting away. Here I'm trying to avoid all the highlights, which are gonna stay white at the end of the process, and avoiding them will help these white parts to stay very crisp and very light. You don't want to paint white over blue. At this point I actually lost a lot of my original marker lines by painting the blue, so I had to go over again with the marker to recover all of these lines. For the bigger areas of black, I'm actually using paint to fill those gaps. So all the black you see on the painting is a mix of marker and paint. I use a marker for the lines usually, and the paint for the bigger black areas. by working on all the little black details with my paintbrush and my marker, the drawing is really coming to life. Alright, so as you guys have seen, I've completed the orange background as well as most of the blue and all the black details. So right now what I'm going to do is refine those white details as the last step of the process. So yeah, as I explained earlier, to keep those white parts very white, you want to really avoid painting over them with the other paint. So now instead of painting white, I'm kind of just closing in with the blue paint and refining those edges. That way it actually looks like it's painted white, but that's actually just the primer you're seeing behind. Damn, that looks clean. So, I'm really happy to say that I finally finished the painting portion of the project. The last thing I did was finishing all the little details. It's actually the part that took the longest time. I didn't really film it because you can't really see that much difference on the camera, but it's the little details that will really make a difference in the end. So now the next step is going to be actually making this a table by adding the legs, and then for the most stressful part of the project, I'm actually going to protect the top with epoxy resin. Epoxy resin looks like this. I'm going to mix this up, pour it on top. But first, let's add the legs. That part was actually so stressful, guys. I was terrified of poking through the other side and ruining all the work that I did by having my drill pierce through the painting I done. Installing the table legs, and these are just legs that I bought off of Amazon. Make sure to check the height. Checking if any damage was done to the other side. I see that no one done, so all good. Here's a little cameo of my family on a group call. So making a table is no excuse for not calling your family, guys. Here I'm prepping the table for pouring the epoxy. And if there's one advice I can give to someone trying to recreate a similar project, of pouring epoxy, is to really tape the underside and the side really well with clear tape. That way, when the epoxy hardens and you remove the tape, it would automatically remove all the epoxy that dripped on the side. And remember to always wear protection, guys, especially when using chemicals. Epoxy consists of two parts you need to mix for the reaction to take place. And so here I'm just pouring those in different cups and then putting them all in a container so that I'm able to pour it onto the table. The mixing, I don't remember the directions, but you have to do it for a good 10 to 20 minutes if I remember correctly. Give that table a good wipe. And then you're ready to pour your first layer of epoxy. So here I'm just flooding the table, which means I'm only pouring a little bit of epoxy and trying to get it in all the grooves, all the little cavities of the table. Here I'm just collecting all the grime, all the extra epoxy that didn't seep through. And if you're wondering why it looks a bit dark or a bit dirty, that's because a lot of the marker had dissolved into the liquid epoxy, and I had kind of drooled over a lot of the design, so I had to carefully remove all those little spills, all those little black marks, to make sure my lens stays sharp. So if I had to do this again, I would definitely paint black over all of my marker lines. Here I'm pouring the second layer. I'm putting a lot more now because this is actually going to add some volume to the table. Tipping it helps to spread it evenly, so I'm doing that on all sides. I'm carefully using a squeegee to make sure the epoxy surface is as flat as I can make it. Here I'm pouring the third and last layer of epoxy. For this one I'm putting as much as I can to be able to have it drip on the side of the table. And this is where the tape is going to come in really handy, because a lot of it is going to spill down the sides. And so after waiting 48 hours, here is the result of the hardened epoxy. You can see all the little spills that are on the side, and it's going to come right off of the tape. I love how the reflection looks on this. I had a couple bubbles, unfortunately. I should have used a heat gun to make sure to pop all of those when doing the last step. But here you can see all those epoxy spills get taken right off of the tape. It's super satisfying and it leaves a really clean edge. So now that the tape is removed, I'll let you admire the final product. It almost looks like a slab of glass has been put on top of the wood. It looks so great when you see the reflection of the window. And I think my cat enjoys it too. So there it is. Now you guys know everything there is to know about making a table like this one. It's been over a year that I've done this table actually, and it's held up since then. There's been gatherings around the table, some bottles, some drinks have been put on it, some late dinners have been had on this table, so been doing its job as a coffee table. Remember to go check out the video from currieGOAT. He was the one that inspired me to do this table, and I pretty much did the same process that he did, so he deserves the credit for coming up with this kind of process. If you guys enjoyed watching, please consider subscribing and liking the video. It really helps out a lot. I'm planning on making more videos about projects like this one. I usually tuft, I screen print, I have my own clothing brand as you can see me wearing, and I do a whole bunch of projects that might interest you guys in the future. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching me make this table. Thank you, and thanks for watching. Bye. Say bye to the people watching the video. My cat says bye.